Hi, everybody. It is Monday night, 9 o'clock here on East Coast time. And you know what that means. It is time for the Monday Night Huddle Show. I'm your host with the most, Matt Brown, and we got an awesome show for you guys tonight. I got John Newman from the Sports Card Nation podcast going to be joining us tonight. This guy does a podcast every Friday, and he's got his pulse. He's got his finger on the pulse. That's what I meant. Finger on the pulse of the card community. And he's going to play our Audible game. And also, we're going to ask him some questions about all the happenings and goings in the card business today. So before we get there, though, we're going to do the news. What's happening in the news? I know that I'm the only source of your news section out there, guys. So, Kerry Vance is in the house. Go Hawks. Atlanta Hawks, I'm guessing, Kerry. I don't know. So good to have you, Kerry Vance. Let's talk about the news. Big news here. World Series starts tomorrow night. We got the Astros and the Braves. My prediction was off. I thought it'd be Astros and Dodgers, but it's Astros and Braves. It's going to be a good series. My prediction is Astros in 6. You can write it down, send it to Vegas, Atlantic City, wherever you do your betting. Going to be Astros in 6. I just think the Astros are a little bit more powerful. I think the Braves are just overplaying, but I've been wrong about the Braves all year from the playoffs, so never know what will happen. Kerry Van, Seahawks. That's right. The Seahawks are playing tonight. I forgot they're playing the Saints. That should be a good game tonight. 25 Perez is in the house. How you doing, 25 Perez? So that's what we got going on from baseball. I want to hear what you guys think. Who do you guys got? You got the Astros or Braves? Kerry Vance says it's going to be the Braves. I don't know. I mean, who knows? They have been red hot. You know, Austin Riley's been red hot, and Freddie Freeman, all those guys, they're looking good. Just think if they had Acuna playing, you know, their best player is out. If they had him, man, I would probably go with the Braves then. But I think the Astros are going to be a tough team to beat. But we'll see. And then NFL Week 7 is completing tonight, of course, with the Seahawks and Saints game. And Week 7 was a weird week. I mean, the Chiefs got blown out. How many people would have bet that Derrick Henry would throw more touchdown passes this week than Patrick Mahomes in that game? That was crazy. Tennessee just blew out Kansas City. It wasn't even close. But, yeah, the Chiefs are looking bad. I don't know if it's time to panic if I'm a KC fan or not, but I would get close to panicking. You know, they lose another game or two, and they're going to be a tough outing right now, guys. So if you're a Chiefs fan, you need some victories. So not looking too good for KC. And also the Bengals, man, I did not expect the Bengals to be this good. Joe Burrow is looking great. Team is looking great. They destroyed the Ravens, which the Ravens looked pretty good, but totally destroyed the Ravens. The Bengals did. Very impressed with the Bengals. Of course, my Giants won. Finally, we get a victory. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all, but my Giants were able to pull it out. So we are still, I don't know, kind of battling. We're not really battling. We're just playing for a middle of the road NFL draft pick. So we will have to see how my Giants do. Let's do our power rankings. I want to talk about our power rankings because they have. And Andy N said the Bengals still suck. Well, they didn't suck this past week. They looked really good. They're 5-2 right now on top of the AFC North Division. So let's talk about our NFL power rankings at number 5. This team hasn't been on our power rankings, but we're going the Green Bay Packers. They are 6-1, looking good. Now they really haven't played anybody yet. I mean, they beat Washington this past week. They've had some easy games. So that's why I put them at number 5. They still have a tough road to go, I think, but so far, they've looked pretty good. Rodgers looked good, though. Devontae Adams, I hear, is probably going to be out this week on Thursday Night Football. He's got the COVID, so hopefully things work out for him, but he will probably not be there for Thursday night. Not sure who they're playing off the top of my head, but Packers are my number 5 team. Number 4 team, this team took a tumbling last week. We were live when the game was going on, but the Colts beat the Bills last week. So my Bills dropped to number 4 on the power rankings. They did. They went from number 1 to number 4. So the Bills, I think, are still in good shape. They have they have an easy division. They get to play Miami twice. Patriots are looking a bit better, but I think, they're going to take care of them. And so I think, and the Jets look horrible. So the Bills have such an easy schedule. The Bills are turning into the Patriots were 5-10 years ago, where the whole division was just horrible. And then you had one really good team that just easily got, 6 victories every year. And that's what the Bills are kind of turning into right now. At number 3, it's Tommy Terrific. Tom Brady and the Bucks is number 3. They keep it going. And I don't know if you guys saw the video of Brady throwing that touchdown pass, and then Mike Evans gave it to a fan, and that was I forget what number of touchdown that was. It was some special number, but gave it to a fan, and then Brady and the Bucks had to give this guy a whole bunch of stuff trying to get that football back. So poor Mike Evans, man. You gotta hang on to those special touchdown passes, especially when they come from Tommy Terrific. And at number 2, the Rams moving up to number 2. Rams are looking very good still. They took care of, it was the Matthew Stafford reunion. I think they beat the Lions this past week. So the Rams are looking tough. Good running game, great passing game. Defense looking great. I don't really see much. It's going to be tough to stop the Rams. The only problem with the Rams is they're in a division with the number 1 team, the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are looking beautiful. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, they put a whooping to Houston this past week, guys. That wasn't even close. Cardinals are going to be a very tough team. Of course, I'm always going to tell you my Super Bowl prediction because it's looking good. Buffalo and Arizona, I predicted at the beginning of the year they would make the Super Bowl. Looking pretty good for that. 25 Perez, you were right. It was 600 touchdowns. I thought that was right, but then I thought, well, maybe that was too many. That's right. Tom Brady threw his 600th touchdown pass. And I think they offered the fan, like he got an autograph. He got another game-used football from Brady. He got an autograph. I don't know. He got a whole bunch of stuff, man. But supposedly that ball was probably worth about $500,000, they were saying. So hopefully he got his money's worth. So, but again, if you're a fan, hey, come on, man. You get, give Brady the ball and you get a whole bunch of stuff. You'll be set, So everybody's putting a whooping on Houston. That is true. Houston is not looking very good right now, but they don't have a quarterback. They don't really have anything. So Pepino's in the house. Hey, Pepino, how you doing, man? Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl twice this year. I don't know how you can win the Super Bowl twice. I don't know. I think they would be lucky to win it once. But if you say they're going to win it twice, they're going to win it twice. So, all right, that is what we got for the news. I want to bring on my guest tonight because we don't usually have a guest of this caliber. Okay, we've had some good guests before, but nobody like this guy who knows about sports cards, and that's why I want to bring him on early because I want to talk to him here a little bit about sports cards. He is the host of Sports Card Nation podcast. It is John Newman. John, how you doing, sir?
What's up, Matt? Man, thanks for that great intro. Hey, just to end any kind of debate, I put my pants on one leg at a time, like everyone else. So
well, that goes my first.
I appreciate
question. That was my first question, man. So I'm out of questions already.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.
No, but you do a great job. You have a podcast every Friday where you're interviewing, some of the top leading people of the card companies. You're even interviewing Dr. James Beckett. I mean, as a kid growing up reading the Beckett, I just idolize every time you interview Dr. James Beckett. That's got to be such a thrill.
For me, it's crazy. I had a store for 6 years in the 90s, and so I carried the Beckett price guide back then, and if you would have told 20-something-year-old me selling those price guides, that I would get to know not only podcasting wasn't a thing then, but I would get to know Dr. Beckett, have him on a podcast I'd be doing, and more than have him on the guest, I've gotten to know him very well and call him a friend, and so that's a huge thing, and we talk over the phone, text, and the one thing about Dr. Beckett that's great is he's really down to earth, and that's why if a gentleman like that, a hobby icon like that, is humble and treats everybody like that, it's a good example of how to be. And so if I can be half of the way he is, I'll be doing all right. So I kind of sort of looked at him as a great example of how to treat people. This is, if there was a Mount Rushmore in the hobby, Matt, he'd be probably one of the first guys on that thing. He'd never tell you that, you know what I mean? It'd be everyone else in the hobby that would give him that sort of accolade. But he doesn't walk around with that air to him. He doesn't talk down to anybody. He gives everyone time as best he can, and what you see is really him. I've talked to him, I've gotten to know him off the air, if you will, and that's who he is. It's not a shtick. He's just a regular guy, smart guy, obviously. Built, professor of analytics at Bowling Green, a smart, intelligent guy, knows how to run businesses. But, at the end of the day, he'll tell you, the sports cards are the greatest hobby in the world, and he's happy to be even a small part of it. I will tell you, he's a bigger part of it than he'll give himself credit for. But great guy, and I'm just fortunate to sort of know him as well as I do at this point. So.
Yeah, it's definitely a dream for, I know all the people here probably in the chat and stuff, we all grew up, reading the Beckett and just being able to even listen to Dr. James Beckett, because back then there really wasn't any outlet for him to, to communicate. And now he was been on your show quite a couple times at least. And we really enjoyed those interviews. But normally we do for the Audible show, for the Audible portion of this, we usually ask you questions. But before we do that, we don't usually get a guest like you on, and we wanted to ask you some questions because we had a major happening here the last couple months. I know you did a whole podcast on it, a whole show on it, but the whole deal with the Fanatics basically taking over the sports card industry. And I want to know, what was your initial reaction? And now that you've thought about it, it's been months now, what is your thoughts now that it might be different than your initial thoughts about it?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, first thing I want to say, Matt, is it's just, it's going to be a couple years before we actually see hard physical results, right? Cards being produced and that sort of thing. But when this news broke, right, I called it, in a way, a nuclear bomb to the hobby landscape, with 3 major licenses. You got, now they got basketball, football, and baseball here in a few years. And so this is, different. Someone old school like me that's only really known Topps baseball, grew up. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, so I always joke that me and Topps have something in common. We were born in the same city. It was sort of shocking. And then, you get over that initial shock, right? The dust settles, and you really look at it. What I've said, and I'm going to stick to it, like I said, we're a few years away from anything that we can hold in our hands that's going to be different. But it's going to be a crucial time in the hobby. This is, to me, anyone that says this is going to be a completely bad thing, I don't think is right. And I think anyone that says this is going to be rosies and daisies and everything's going to be wonderful, I don't think they're right either. I think the answer is going to be somewhere in between those two things. But what I will say is this: whatever way it goes, good, bad, somewhere in the middle, it's real. Let's give Fanatics the proper credit here. They're going to dictate a lot of where this hobby's going to go in the next 20 years. So the licenses are for 20 years, and how they handle this, what they do with it, is going to really lay the groundwork for whether this hobby continues to crescendo as it really has been. Maybe a little leveling off lately, but still in very good position, if you will, if that trend continues, or if they make some missteps, right? That could be, everyone says, well, when you go up and to the right, at some point you got to go down as well. And I don't think that's necessarily wrong. But how far that drop could be is what's debatable. And so, what they do in the next, 5-10 years, they have the licenses for 20. But what they do in the next 5-10 years is going to really dictate what kind of turn the hobby goes. And they yield a lot of power now, whether you like it or you don't like it. Initially, it was a shock to my system. I think most people were shocked when this news broke. And we get kind of right. We're old school, right? We get used to things the way they are. So when someone like sort of pulls the rug out from under you, it kind of catches you off guard. And then when you really kind of take a deep breath and look at it, there's going to be some good things that come out of it. You know, I've said maybe we see less redemption. They have great relationships with the players' organizations, the players' union. So one of the reasons this deal happened in the first place is because of those relationships with the players and players union. Now they have a seat at the table. They're gonna get more money. And let's keep it real, right? You know, hobby is fun, collecting. Well, what is at the end of the day? What is it, right? It's a business. It's a big business, $1 billion industry, and the players know that. And now they're getting more of that pie, right? They're going to have a seat at that negotiating table for the next 20 years. One they didn't have before. They were sort of, I don't want to say prisoners of Topps and Panini, but they didn't have as much say about how things go, and now they do. And you know what? We saw what happened with the NIL, right? With college athletes, right? Name, image, and likeness. College athletes are doing commercials, signing endorsement deals, making money. Spencer Rattler went to the National, $1 million contract, and lost a starting job at Oklahoma. He wouldn't get that deal today based on performance that he did, just based on hype. And don't think these professional athletes don't see what these amateur, quote to air quotes, athletes are getting. And they say, hey, if they're making all sorts of deals, they didn't even get to the level we're at. They almost got more power than we do. We need to get some of that back. And I think that's really what happened. And can you blame, you know, we could be critical as not professional athletes, but when you put yourself in their place, right, we would probably do or want the same thing. And so it's you know, the landscape of the industry, and that's where we're at. I'm not going, you know, God willing, I'm still going to be involved in the hobby. I may not like everything that goes on with this new Fanatics deal, but I don't like everything that goes on with Topps and Panini deal. So nothing, you know, we're going to complain about something no matter who has the licenses, right? Mm-hmm. So I've taken a deep breath. I've kind of cooled off, and I just said, you know, let's see where this goes. And you know, there still may be Topps cards. We don't know whether Fanatics is going to buy the brand, potentially work out some sort of a deal where they can carry on some of the names or the lines that Topps or Panini's have done. And so we'll see. I'm kind of going in it. I guess I'll use two words, right? Cautiously optimistic. As much as I wouldn't have maybe signed up for this, right? We don't have that really power. We just got to hope that the smart people in the room make good and smart decisions. At the end of the day, I just hope they have the collector base. While it is a money game, and let's not poo-poo that and fool anybody, it is. And you know, they paid a lot of money for those licenses. They're in it to make money. I also hope they have the collectors in mind with some of the decisions they ultimately make as well, because those are the folks like me and you that are going to either buy their product or not buy their product. And we, that's the power we wield as consumers. And sometimes I don't think we realize that, Matt, that we can dictate things if we all kind of banded together enough and said, hey, we're not going to support this, or we are, whatever way. So I hope they keep the collector base in mind with some of the decision making, and that this is more good than bad. It's not going to be all good. It's not going to be all bad. So I just hope there's, you know, when the scales are tipped, I hope there's more good on the good side than on the bad side.
Right. And we saw this kind of change happen about 20 years ago too, when baseball went to Topps, and, you know, football went to Panini. Topps lost, you know, their football. So this has happened before, but it hasn't happened on a stage like this, where you have an iconic brand of Topps now losing their iconic sport of baseball. And also, I was also thinking, thinking back, I know you were at the National with me, and I was thinking it back, and Fanatics had such a big big space there. And that just blew my mind at the time. I was like, why does Fanatics have this huge spot at the National? And then right after the National, the news broke, and I'm like, well, that's why they had the big spot at the National. So,
yeah, they're they may not have done cards really officially before, Matt, but this is a well-established, well-run company. Their model is direct to consumer. I've said this on my show. I'll say it again like a broken record. If I'm a distributor in the hobby, I'd be very concerned right now, because I think, and I don't want to speak for Fanatics, I haven't spoke to anybody. I'm just playing, I guess, armchair Fanatics based on their track record and history. I don't think they're going to play well, and I could be wrong. This is just my opinion. I don't think they're going to play well with the distribution model, and so those groups, GTS and the like, the Southern Hobby, I'd be a little concerned with where we will go if Fanatics doesn't include them. And, I don't know how it's going to play out, but Fanatics is famous for, kind of going direct to consumer. And if that's the direction they go, those companies, they're still going to have other products. They're not going to have nothing, but they're going to be on the outside looking in when it comes to baseball, football, and basketball. And that's a huge, big three to lose of market share. So, I worry about the human element too, Matt. As someone who lost their job recently, I'm fortunate I wound up landing on my feet, and many of those folks in the industry will too. They're smart, but there's going to be, job loss with this decision and what the fallout from it. And so as a human being, that's where my mind goes too. One of the first things I thought about is, if Topps doesn't make baseball cards and Panini doesn't make football and basketball cards, some of that staff, they're not going to be able to afford those salaries and wages. And some of those folks are going to be, politely told that they don't have a job anymore. Now, whether they can latch on to Fanatics because now they have a bigger pie and they're going to need more manpower, that remains. I'm sure some will, but some may not be able to. And then they have to go home to a family, a spouse, kids, and say, mommy or daddy doesn't work at Topps and Panini anymore. And that's a scary conversation. I don't care how much money you make. Some say, well, they've been making this for years. Maybe the companies have. Doesn't mean every employee is raking in the dough either. So I hope everyone comes out. I know it sounds cliche, but as someone who's recently went through this, I hope everyone comes out as unscathed as they possibly can. There's going to be some casualties, some collateral damage, but I hope it's minor in nature rather than the opposite end.
Right. And speaking of Topps and Panini, what do you think is going to happen with those? I've kind of forecasted if they don't get bought out, I can see them making a big runs at the college athletes now, since they can be on their products.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. If everything stays status quo where they don't get to do the cards in the same fashion they did, they're not bought out. Topps doesn't work out a deal with Fanatics to still do Topps cards. I think that's what they're going to do. I think you're seeing the growth of NFTs. I don't like NFTs. I don't do NFTs, but that doesn't mean a lot of other people aren't doing them, and that's exactly what's going on. So that market's going to expand. I think you hit it right on the head, man. I think they're going to go to the NIL and look at getting some of these up-and-coming stars before they're actually at the professional level. They're free game to negotiate contracts with. I think you'll see in Topps' case to do what they do kind of now with retired players. They just released the Mantle set, right? The Mantle X release. And so I think you'll see Jeter, they just signed to a big deal. You'll see some Jeter stuff. You'll see some non-current player issues, some NIL stuff, some sticker stuff, things they can do without the major licenses. Topps is, I tell this to people all the time. I get asked a lot of questions when news breaks, right? And people are like, a lot of the sky is falling. This is the end of the Topps. Topps is still going to be making cards. It's just in what form and fashion. Is their market share going to be smaller? For sure. They lost a license. Panini's going to have a smaller market share. That's what it is. But they're still going to make cards. They're not going to be out of business. It's not going to be like Kmart where you see just empty stores that used to be that, or Sears and those things. There's going to be Panini. There's going to be Topps. It's just going to be, the landscape's going to be different. What we know them as today, they're going to have a different feel and look to them. But there's still going to be, you're still going to see those logos, and you're going to still see cards produced.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely going to be scaled back, though. But it should be interesting to see what we see in the next couple of years of how they try to manage themselves in this new market right now.
Yeah, I mean, look how much we're talking. I said this on my show all the time too, Matt. Look how much Fanatics even hasn't printed one card yet with this deal. They can't, obviously. And look how much we're talking about it. Look how much people are interested. That's how big this story is, that we can have conversations and debates and thoughts on something that hasn't even happened yet, And so, time was going to tell. I think we'll know. I think the next 2 years, even though there won't be Fanatics cards produced per se, but I think the next couple of years are going to be very interesting, because I think in that next 1 to 2 year window, Matt, whether if Fanatics is going to buy a Topps or Panini or even someone else that did lose a license, that's still on the table too. It's going to happen probably in the next 1 to 2 years. It's not going to be a last minute deal. I'd be very surprised if it's a 12th hour kind of deal. It's going to happen before that. And so the next 1 or 2 years are really going to kind of tell where we're going, where Fanatics is going, I should say, and where we're going as a hobby, because we're really at the behest of what's going on there with these deals. And so we'll know in the next couple of years what's going to drop, what's going to fall, whether we're going to see those 5 letters in Topps's case on releases still in the way we've come to accustom them for the last 70 years.
Yeah. Well, I know if anybody's going to get that first interview with Fanatics, it's going to be John Newman at Sports Card Nation podcast.
Yeah, I like to think I like to think so. They've been pretty quiet. I mean, Michael Rubin did go on Squawk Box, which is on CNBC, a huge network. If anyone that may have missed that interview, one of the questions they asked him was, "What is the likelihood that you are interested in buying one of these card companies that lost the licenses, or even other ones that didn't lose licenses?" And his 2 words were most likely. Okay. So I think for him, he could have easily said, "Look, we're not thinking about that yet. This just kind of happened. We're weighing things out." When he answered, I'll give him this much credit. People may not like everything he said during that interview, but I think he was very honest as he can be, and he said most likely. Now, to buy Topps, right? Topps has to sell themselves too. This is a 2-way street. Just because Fanatics wants to buy Topps doesn't mean the deal's going to happen. There's got to be a negotiation. People sell their houses, put it on the market, right? Sometimes they may not get what they're asking for, and the house doesn't sell. Well, it's the same deal here. Topps could say, "Yeah, we're listening to you, Fanatics." But if the price is not right, the deal may not happen. So just because Fanatics wants to buy, let's say, Topps, doesn't automatically mean it's a done deal. There's going to be a negotiation. If you know anything about, what you call it, oh man, his name just escaped me. The CEO of Topps,
Michael Eisner.
Michael Eisner, yeah, I don't know why I never forget his name now. But Michael Eisner not used to losing. This is sort of uncharted territory for him. I'm sure when this deal came down with Fanatics, and if Topps is telling the truth and they claim they had no idea this was even in negotiations, there's probably a few holes in Michael Eisner's wall. So he's not used to losing, and that may, that's a factor in how he's going to negotiate with Fanatics if there is a buyout. Let's also keep in mind, Topps was getting prepared to go public with an IPO. This Fanatics deal cost, I don't want to say Michael Eisner directly, but cost Topps an estimated $600 million. That's what they were, predicted to get on that initial day of going public. That the minute this deal was announced, or not the minute, but a day or two later, they announced that the SPAC is not coming to light, that this is not going to happen. That cost Michael Eisner some personal money. I'm sure that's why he's upset. The rumor was he was on the phone with Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, for 3 hours the following day, and it wasn't a pleasant conversation. And so this is a guy that's used to winning 90% of the time. And he really, not only did he lose, I mean, he had kind of egg on his face. I'm not saying he did anything personally wrong. I'm just saying he's usually on the other end of these kind of deals. And he got a little bit of humble pie, if you will. Whether he's a smart guy, though, Matt, I think we both know that. So at some point, he's going to say, hey, there's nothing I can do to change this. I can cry. I can punch as many holes in this office walls as I want. What do I do now to make Topps and himself look the best we can out of here? So I think there's going to be negotiations between Topps and Fanatics for sure. There's going to be dialogue. What comes of that dialogue? Does a deal get done? That remains to be seen. But I think there's going to be efforts in that direction. But whether they get there to the end of that road, time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, some Mickey Mouse toys got destroyed at Michael Eisner's house.
Yeah, that was not a good. I tell you what, I would love. The curiosity in me would love to be a fly on that wall that day, just to hear just the reaction to that kind of news. I mean, I was shocked when it came across my phone. I can't. Topps is claiming that number one, they didn't even know that baseball was even negotiating for the next contract with 2 years left. And then, I've said this on my show too. I think it's sort of Pearl Harbor-ish what the baseball and the players union did too, right? It's one thing that Topps didn't get the contract, but Topps has been their part, whether you like what they've done, and they've dropped the ball too. They've been a partner with baseball and the play for 70 years. And to negotiate the next deal without them at least being at the table, I'm not saying they should have got the next deal too, but the fact they weren't invited to the party, not even told that there was a party going on, and then the news breaks that the contract's been awarded to Fanatics. That's not good faith negotiating to me, in my opinion, on baseball and the players union part. It's business. They can do whatever they want. But I would think 70 years, you do business with someone for 70 years, whether you like everything they did or you felt like, I think Topps probably deserved a little more respect than that. And I'm sure Michael Eisner felt that way as well. And I'm guessing that's what was a focal point of that conversation with Manfred.
Right. All right, are you ready to play the audible game? I am ready to start asking you some questions.
Yeah, I'm on the hot seat here.
You're on the hot seat.
So all the questions are going to be.
Right. All the questions are going to be worth some points here. So we're going to start off with one of our favorite games called Buy, Sell, or Hold. Now, we know you are a connoisseur, and so we're going to give you some players, and I want you to tell me if we should be buying their cards, selling their cards, or we should hold on to them. Right. And these are going to be our MLB playoff edition players, okay? So we're going to start off with Logan Webb of the San Francisco Giants. Are you buying his cards, selling, or holding?
Man, I'm not, I don't know. I'd probably hold. I'd probably hold. He's young. With young guys, even when someone like Luis Robert, I've got a lot of Luis Robert stuff. I would hold. I'll say that with most young guys. I won't say that with everyone, but I'll go with hold, which is what I probably would say about 60 to 70% of the time, especially if you believe in the guy long term. I guess it's up to the individual person. So
right. Oh, I forgot to mention these are worth half a point. These 4 players. Okay, the first one, Logan Webb. You should be selling Logan Webb, and I'm a San Francisco Giant fan. Okay, I like Logan Webb, but the prices right now have gone through the roof.
Yeah,
He's not a number 1. He's maybe a number 2 starter. He's a 2-3. He's not a number 1, what some of the prices are going for now. You should be selling Logan Webb. So, all right. Well, not off to a good start, John. I'll tell you that right
All
now.
right. All right. Well, I have to make it up here.
You got to make it up. All right. The next player, Yordan Alvarez. Buy, sell, or hold.
To me, I actually sold some this week at the show here in Syracuse, but I didn't put everything out, and there's a reason. So he's a hold. Another guy, young. I think he's shown in the postseason. He's legit. He's not a flash in the pan. Barring injury, he's going to have a long career, probably multiple All-Star potential, Hall of Fame if you want to go that far. To me, the ceiling's not been reached. So as someone who has a lot of Yordan stuff, I put some stuff out. And some stuff didn't see the showcases on Sunday. So I'll say overall a hold.
That is correct. You need to hold Yordan. I think he's going to have a big World Series. I can see him hitting 2-3 home runs in the series, Yep, all right. Next up, the Atlanta Braves, Austin Riley. Should you be buying, selling, or holding Austin Riley?
I'm going to say sell. And I know I'm sort of going the opposite way with my sort of mantra of holding young guys. But I say that for me because I just don't – I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a great player. And he's obviously hot right now. And so, it's how you view a guy long term is how you answer this question. So long term, I don't see him doing what he's done this year. So, I think you sell at peak. I'm not saying he's necessarily at peak right now. I just don't see this Austin Riley doing this for 10, 15 years. I could be wrong.
Now, is there any – now, you're a Mets fan, aren't you?
I am a Mets fan.
Is there a little bias here? Is there a little bias against the Braves?
It could be subconsciously, not intentionally. But I think he's a good player, Matt, but then, you got obviously below good player, which you don't want to be. Then you got good, you got very good, and you got great. He had a great year. Is he a great player? Or is this what we're going to see every year? I don't believe so. But again, time will tell. But to me, I don't have a lot of Austin Riley stuff, but anything I have would be available. And that's how I'm kind of answering the question as someone who does shows and as a dealer. Am I just putting stuff away and not making it out in the show? Riley stuff is out there. So I would say sell.
I'm going buy. I buy Austin Riley. Get all your Austin Riley cards and send me an email.
All right. I don't have too many, so
I guess not.
It's going to be a short email.
And finally, for this section, Kyle Tucker of the Astros. Buy, sell, or hold.
All right, I'm holding on Tucker because I like him a lot. He's another guy. He is, as much as I dislike the Astros, I have a lot of Alvarez and Tucker stuff, and I'm talking like autograph, RPA stuff. And Tucker's a guy that didn't get out in my showcase this week because he had a great year. His batting average, he struggled last year. And he rebounded this year, was healthy for the most part, had a minor stint on the injured list, but very short. And guy I like long-term, lefty, nice swing. I think he's going to be one of those, I don't want to say perennial all-star, but he's going to have some all-star appearances, power hitter. Anytime you're sort of talked about and called Little Ted after Ted Williams, I'm not saying he's Ted Williams, don't get me wrong, folks, but I like him long term, so you know what? I'll say hold or buy. I have a lot of his stuff already, but if you don't, might be an opportunity to buy some stuff because I think he's got many good seasons coming up ahead of him.
Well, I'm going to go with your first answer, hold, which is correct. So you can't pick all the answers, John. It's not how this works.
Well, I picked two.
All right.
Hold and buy are sort of the two closest. If I said hold and sell, that would sort of be a kind of
there might be an asterisk to what number you score on this game. I'm just telling you. All right. So that was question number 1. You're up to 1 point so far. Now we're going to go to question number 2. This is worth 1 point. Now, you used to work for Tough Stuff. You used to did some articles for them, right?
Yeah, back in the day. I'm old, so in the 90s.
Now, as a collector and reader, what was the best part of Tough Stuff magazine?
For as far as writing for them, or you're
not writing, whereas like someone like me who was like a collector and a reader, what was the best part of Tough Stuff?
I think what Tough Stuff did, obviously they were competing against Beckett at the time, and Beckett was the king. Let's be real. I think the articles, and they did a lot more product reviews. And so I think the product reviews and the articles, Beckett is actually known more for the articles now because eBay comps, and they're not known. But this was before those days when Beckett was the Bible of price guides, right? All those upwards or downwards triangles that we look for. But I think at the time, Tough Stuff was sort of for the articles and the box breaks and the box reviews. They were one of the first, if my memory serves me correct, they were one of the first to do that. And I was actually a benefactor of that. One of my, it didn't pay a lot. I wasn't full-time, wasn't my full-time job. But one of the perks of writing is some of the reviews I did, they would send me a box of whatever, Donruss, Fleer, Score, Tops. Mm-hmm. I would open it up, give my thoughts, write a review, and my pay was I kept whatever I hit. And so they were one of the first ones to do that. I'm not sure if they were exactly the first, but I know they did it more than Beckett, at least in the 90s. Now Beckett does them more prevalently. Really, Beckett's the only real magazine at this point. SCD is sort of more of an advertising magazine, but Beckett's still around, and maybe don't have the readership they once did with a lot of stuff going online. But, I think at the time, the articles and the product reviews.
So just on a sidebar, did you ever get a product in from somebody when you were doing this and you thought maybe they loaded it up just for me to get a good review? I always wondered that.
Yeah. I'm trying, man. I can't remember. I remembered. I think I opened a box of like 91 Studio. I don't even remember. So long ago. It's 30 years ago. I don't remember exactly what I pulled, but I pulled something that at the time was not prevalent. And like you just said, I said, "Oh man, I wonder if they knew this was a review box." And they're like, "We want to make sure we get a decent review. Let's put something pretty nice in here." And so, yeah, the thought. I honestly think that goes on. I think there's, the companies will never, raise their hand and say, "Yeah, it's true." But I think they have stuff. They do a first off the line, right? Panini does first off the line with extra hits, right? And I believe some of the companies probably do that without putting the first off the line sticker, knowing these are going to be part of a review from some content creator. Let's make sure they hit something and rave about the product, because how many thousands of people are going to listen to what they say. So,
right.
And I'm not even saying that's necessarily wrong. I'm just saying it does happen.
Yeah,
I believe it happens. In my opinion.
Right. Well, you gave a great answer, John, but it was completely wrong. That was not the best part of Tough Stuff. The best part of Tough Stuff was you had all the major sports in one magazine price guide. Instead of going to buy a baseball, a football, and a basketball every month, which is going to cost you $20 back in the day, you could buy one Tough Stuff for like $7.99. That was the best part of Tough Stuff.
You're right. Good point. And they also put, if my memory serves me right, they also put some cards in there every once in a while.
That was my second reason, was the cards. Yeah. But they were hard to punch out, though. You always messed them up. They were like the Sports Illustrated for kids cards. They were hard to get out. All right. Let's go to our next question. Now, I want to know of the main characters in Seinfeld. Since your last name is Newman, and I see your Funko Pop over there. I see your Newman Funko Pop. Who was the best main character on Seinfeld? There he is, Newman.
Well, we won't count him because I'd have to say.
Right. Well, I'm saying main character. So we got Jerry, Elaine, George, or Kramer. Which of the four?
You gotta go Kramer, man. That guy's just a riot to be around. I don't care what the situation is, right? He's gonna make you laugh. He's gonna keep it lighthearted. And I was more of a Kramer guy. Just no entrance the same, and you just how's he gonna come into the room next and keeps you on your toes. You never know what kind of hijinks you're going to get in with him, and so I love Kramer. I'm going to go with Kramer.
I can't believe you did not go with the correct answer. The correct answer is George. It's George Costanza. Yeah. Come on, he played for not even play, but he was with the Yankees.
I know. I'm not a Yankees guy. I'm a Mets guy.
So if he was. Then you should have went with I guess with Kramer was kind of with a Keith Hernandez situation.
Well, I could have went with Elaine because she was with Keith Hernandez.
Yeah, she was with Keith. George was the only one not with the Mets.
Yeah, I went with the non-affiliated baseball guy. And Kramer.
All right. Well, that was not the correct answer. You're not doing too good. You got 1 point so far. It's your last question. Now, this is a two-parter. You got to get both to get the whole correct answer.
All right.
Now, you're up around Syracuse. Tell me, who are the top two broadcasters that came out of Syracuse University? Top two. One's easy.
One's easy. It's Bob Costas.
Yes.
Bob Costas. And, man, I want to get this right. There's been some great ones. I'm not a big fan of him personally. Okay, but as far as resume goes, I mean, Mike Tirico's got to be right there too.
All right, that's your. It's not. You're not choosing Michael Cole from WWE, are you? I didn't even know he was from Syracuse.
Yeah, you could go. I mean, you got Jim Nantz with Tony Romo's podcast.
Don Stockton.
Dick Stockton. Yep. There's a lot. Anish Shroff on ESPN. Half of ESPN's current announcers are ESPN alumni. And I'm not a Tirico fan, but I remember him. He was on the local news here, and he just blew up, and now he does everything, and from the Masters to Monday Night Football. So resume-wise, I'll go Costas and Tirico. And I'm not saying Tirico's in the same class as Costas, but he's making quite a name for himself in his own right. So that would be my pick. And that's coming from someone that's not a huge Tirico guy. If you read the ESPN tell-all book some years back, he had some not so flattering stuff in there. I'll leave it at that. Go read it if you haven't yet and you want to know what I'm talking about.
Well, here's my answer. I got Bob Costas, and if you can see, I don't know if you can see it. It says Mike Tirico. You got it right.
All right.
You got it right. You did not do the worst in this show now. You officially did not do the worst.
I'm out of the basement. I climbed out of
the basement. You finished with 2 points, 2 out of 5. It's kind of respectable.
Costas, I mean, I know there's a comment from Andy, he can't stand him. He's a legendary. I think Dan Patrick always jokes around that there's that broadcasting award, and like Costas wins it literally every year. Dan Patrick's like, "Will you retire already so I can get one of these darn things?" So I think he's a legend. You may not like. I like him. I think he's the kind of guy. I don't care what the sporting event is. He can jump right in and keep it interesting, and that's a mark of someone who's very good at what they do. And you know what? While I may not be a fan of Tirico, he's pretty similar. He's done a lot of different, sports, and he does them pretty well. Whether I like him personally or not, that's secondary. So.
Well, I think a lot of people look at Costas now, but if you remember, like you and I, when we were younger, Costas was a lot better, I think, than current Costas.
Yeah, well, let's be real. You know what I mean? He did more. He was on everything when he was younger.
Well, yeah.
He's obviously pulled back his schedule, but even hearing him like just on interviews on like other people's shows, it's just interesting the way he talks about sports and his his experiences with the players and his career, and I could listen to him, talk for hours, and I can't say that about everybody. And so I think he's, at the end when he's all done with his career, he's going to be, right up there with maybe some of the greatest to have ever done broadcasting. And he's from Syracuse, so that we got that going. We got that going for us. So
yeah. And another guy who's pretty underrated on the Syracuse list is Iron Eagle.
Yeah,
and his son now too. His son is
yeah.
doing for the Clippers, I think. But
Iron
Eagle's pretty good.
Yeah, Syracuse. I mean, there's people you listen to, probably even me, that are on that I don't even realize are Syracuse grads. I know a lot of them, but there's some that are up and coming. It's a huge. It's called the Newhouse School of Broadcasting on the Hill, and huge. And I do Uber. Like I said to you before I came on, I Uber there about an hour a day. Some of these soon-to-be famous broadcasters might have been in the back of my car, and years from now, I can say, "Hey, I remember I gave him a ride for 3 to 4 miles from school to his dorm room." So, but it's a huge. I mean, I would tell anyone it's not cheap to go there. It's $70K a year, but if you want to get into the sports journalism broadcasting, it's probably, if not the top school, right there. And the list is long. If you ever sat down and actually wrote, that's why this question was so good, because it's after, to me, Costas was like a shoe-in, and then you could have went probably 10 different ways with the second guy. And if you made a list of all the broadcasters you can name that went to Syracuse, it probably 20, 30, 40 long. And that's the ones you can name. There's others that people don't even realize they went to Syracuse, including myself. Like, oh, yeah, I didn't know he went to Syracuse, but I know who he is, So it's a great school if that's the field you want to get into, for sure.
Well, that's why we ask the hard-hitting questions here on the Audible section of this show, man. We do some research. So we are all set. John, I want to thank you for being on with us. John Newman, Sports Card Nation podcast. You do other shows too. I was saying before we started, it seems like you have like 5 YouTube shows now, because you're showing up in my feed every second.
It's funny. I forgot one when we were talking off the air. I forgot one on Sunday night at 9:30 live. I do an NFL podcast called Roughing the Passer,
with your son,
which is with my son and David Lee, who is actually a contributing writer to Beckett, who's a huge football guy. And so every Sunday night, we kind of wrap up the day in football, talk about everything that's going on. We kind of make some picks every week and kind of compete there. And I was laughing when you were talking about Mahomes and Henry out touchdown passing them. It's true. There's problems, that you didn't ask me, but if I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm not. I'm a Steelers fan. We got our own problems too. But to answer your question, yeah. If I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm a little bit worried because that defense is not good. No. And, the offense you never had to worry about. But now after this week's performance, a little bit of a question mark there. That line, which was a problem last year, I think it's better this year, Matt. But I think there's still some chinks in that armor. I think, like you said, the Bills look like the team to beat, right now. And so we'll see. But, I'm not saying the Chiefs can't turn it around. But, man, Andy Reid better figure something out quick. They're not, who would have thought, right? The Raiders let go Gruden with all the stuff going on, and they're now leading the division. They're 2-0 since he stepped down. I'm not saying that's why necessarily they're 2-0, but it's just an odd coincidence. And if I would have told you the Raiders would be leading that division after week 7, I don't know how many people
John, it's like See if we get that back up here. And, all right, looks like we're having a little difficult though. I want to thank you. Are you back?
Can you hear me?
You're a little bit.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my
Okay,
internet.
we can hear you now.
All right.
Rob just said we broke YouTube. That was the problem. You broke YouTube, man.
Well, we got great broadcasters in Syracuse. We just have, bad internet, I guess. I was going to use another word, but we'll keep it clean. We'll keep it clean.
So, but I want to thank you for coming on. And you got your Sports Card Nation podcast every Friday. You can find that on every podcast availability, right?
Yeah, we're on all the major platforms. You can find pretty much most of the shows on that platform. We do a Hobby Quick Hits. I'm wearing a shirt today. The show came out actually today. Hobby Quick Hits is Sports Card Nation without a guest, just me, one topic, 20, 30 minutes max, short form, get in, get out. Sports Card Nation on Fridays longer with a guest and about an hour to an hour and a half. So I do one short one, one long one. And then once a month we do a live Friday show, much like this one, the second Friday of every month. We even that has a different name that we call that one Breaking Cardboard. So, like you said, there's I don't know how many shows I lose track now. So I'm running out of fingers and toes. So
you need your own network, like WWE Network, but Sports Card Nation Network. If you ever come up with Sports Card Nation Network, I want a time slot.
Yeah,
all right. Guarantee me a time slot.
I guarantee if that ever happens, you're in. I promise. So
hey, that's all I appreciate. John, I appreciate you coming on. Hopefully we can get you on some other time when we got some more news to talk about and stuff. Anything else? Any last things you need to tell us? What's going on?
No, just kind of a closing thought, right? I know a lot of people with the Fanatics news, a little worried or concerned. I get it. But at the end of the day, right, the hobby's fun. Enjoy it any way you choose. If you like something, support the product. If you don't have to support it. If you got vintage, you got modern, you got graded, you got ungraded. You can enjoy the hobby any way you so choose. And I think that's the beauty of the hobby. And so I don't think, for the folks sort of panicking with the Fanatics, I'd even put myself in that category when the news first hit. We'll see where this goes, but the hobby's still going to be fun no matter what's going on, and that's the bottom line. Have fun with it.
Those are good words stand there by John. I appreciate everything you do and appreciate you coming on, and hopefully we can do something again in the future pretty soon.
Thanks for having me, Matt. Always fun to come on with you.
No problem. Have a good night, John. All right, that was John Newman, Sports Card Nation podcast. We are going to open, I forgot to mention, we are going to open up some cards. I guess we're going to run a little late tonight, but I got 8 packs of 2021 Optic Hobby packs we're going to open tonight. And also we're going to go over some of the top hits we have in our November box coming up soon. But before we do that, I'm going to take a little commercial break, and I will be right back. Are you tired of going to the store and finding all the shelves bare of your favorite sports cards? Well, I got the solution for you. It's Hotbox Cards. Hotbox Cards is a sports card subscription service. And what's even better, Hotbox Cards is affordable. No more than $100, $150, $200, $300 sports card subscription boxes. I'm talking Hotbox Cards at $29.99 plus shipping. You can't beat that. And you can't beat the variety. Most sports card subscription boxes are all about packs. Here, we like to mix it up. Every box, you're going to get 3 unopened packs. You're going to get 50 bonus cards, plus 3 game use or autograph cards. And we'll even ask you what your favorite team is. We try to give you one of those game use or autograph cards to be one of your favorite teams. So you got to check out the website, hotboxcards.net. You are going to love it. Plus, we give bonus items every month. Every month we have a different theme in our boxes, and we give free items in every box. You can't beat it for $29.99. Check out the website, hotboxcards.net, and become a subscriber today. All right, we are back. We're going to be opening up some 2021 Optic Hobby Packs. Got 8 of those. Before we do, though, well, first off, we still got Firestarter. He is here. Firestarter is here to hopefully help us out. We still got Austin and Goldberg, and we gotta have to change some stuff around maybe next week. But before we get into the 2021 Optic Hobby Packs, I want to show you a couple things. First, our November box, what we have coming up. So November, of course, is going to be Hall of Fame November. And every football subscriber, and we're going to show you what you're going to get. Every football subscriber is going to get a NFL. We're going to actually open these up right now, but you're going to get a card from the class of 2020 made by Panini, or you're going to get a card from the class of 2021 Panini. I actually bought these at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They're made by Panini, so we're going to open these up. Every football subscriber is going to get one card out of these packs. So you get one card. We'll randomly choose which card you get, but to show you guys what we get, this 2020 is really thick. So these are cards they make for the Hall of Fame. Look at that. Troy Polamalu. These are all from the 2020. There's George Young, my New York Giant general manager, and he's got some years. Harold Carmichael, the Eagles. Duke Slater. I don't know who Duke Slater is, but there he is. Steve Hutchinson. Again, these are all cards. Donnie Shell, the Steelers. Jimmy Johnson. Don't mess with his hair. There is Jimmy Johnson. And who else we got? We got Bobby Dillon. Steve Atwater for class of 2020. Again, every football subscriber for our November box is going to get one of the card out of these packs. Jimbo Covert. Remember him? Cliff Harris, the Cowboys. Mac Speedy for the Browns, looks like. Edgerrin James, old Edge from the University of Miami. Steve Sable, NFL Films guru. Paul Tagliabue, the commissioner. Winston Hill. Oh, Winston Hill looks like a tough SOB. You got Isaac Bruce. Isaac Bruce, part of the greatest show on turf. So. And then we got Alex Karras, the Lions fans. I know Card Shark Chris will like that. Pino says, thanks, Hop, for sponsoring my Card Community News today. I didn't know I sponsored anything, but Pino, man, what are you doing? Did I write you a check? I hope I didn't write you a check. It might not cash, okay? Bill Cower and Ed Sprinkle. That was the 2020 pack. Let's look at the 2021 pack. Try to make myself some room here. So, again, I bought these at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I was out there after the National. I went over to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and went through the Hall of Fame. Second time going through that and picked up some of these packs here. And I ended up getting multiples of these. So I have more for, just because one person gets one doesn't mean that they're gone. There's Bill Nunn. I don't know who Bill Nunn is. We got Tom Flores of the Oakland Raiders. So, again, every football subscriber is going to get one of these cards. Drew Pearson. And Rob said, what is that here? You have Alex K's last autograph ever. Wow. That's unbelievable. Alex Karras, of course, was on Webster. If you guys remember Webster, Alex Karras played the dad, John Lynch. He was also part of a big gambling scandal in the NFL with him and Paul Hornung. It was pretty big. Charles Woodson, Alan Faneca, Calvin Johnson, Megatron, and Peyton Manning. He was part of the 2021 class. Oh, never mind. Okay. Rob's getting stuff wrong now, folks. That's why you're not hosting a show, Rob. All right. And then I wanted to show you our big hits for our baseball and football. Let's start off with football. Again, this is Hall of Fame. These are our top hits. First off, we have a Dan Marino Gold Hall of Gold from the Gold Standard. That is Panini 2020 jersey card of Marino. One of our subscribers is going to get this card, and it is numbered out of 199. Picked this up this weekend down at Chantilly, Virginia, at their card show down there. So our football box, this is going to be the top hit, the Dan Marino 2020 Panini Hall of Gold. Put that back up here. And then our baseball subscribers for our Hall of Fame box, look at that. Mr. Ernie Banks jersey card. You don't see Ernie Banks jersey cards that often. There it is. And that is numbered to 68 on the back. Pick this up at the National. So our top hit for baseball for the month of November is going to be this beautiful Ernie Banks. This is from 2006, it looks like. Yeah, 2006 Leaf Certified Materials, Ernie Banks. So that is going out to our baseball subscribers this month. So hopefully, if you're not a subscriber, this will be a good month to do it because you get a chance to get the Dan Marino or the Ernie Banks. So that's what we got. Oh, and I also want to show you guys this before we start the optic. Not many people have this card, but here it is. This is a Matt Brown rookie card. Here he is, superstar. Look at that guy. Look at that good kid. I was an all-star that year, made the traveling team. This was 1989. It's got stats on the back. I was 12. I weighed 103 pounds, 5'7". I was 5'7" when I was 12. I'm 5'11" now, so I grew 4 inches since I was 12 years old. My team was the Bell Jewelers. We played in the Cal Quinn League. My position was left in center field. My favorite player at the time was Jose Canseco, but during the year, I then switched to Will Clark. And again, my favorite team was the San Francisco Giants. So there it is. Not many people have this, but here it is, a Matt Brown rookie card from Hotbox. Maybe I'll do this as redemption one day. Well, there he is. Pretty good. And on this team was another YouTuber, Scotty Arana from the Arana Boys. He was also on my team at that time. We won the league championship that year when we were an 11 and 12-year-old division. But there I am. I played outfield. I remember one game we had a kid playing right field that was not very good. And we were low on players that day, so they had to put him out in right field. And my coach came up to me and he said, put me in center. And he's like, Matt, if there's a ball hit to right field, you run in front of him and catch the ball. And a ball was actually hit to right field. And I ran over, and this kid actually caught the ball. I couldn't believe it. Coach couldn't believe it either, but I let the kid try to catch it, and he caught it. So always got to let people try, right? So there it is, a Matt Brown rookie card. See if anybody will get a chance to get that someday. All right, let's open up these optic. I know we're running a little late, but let's open up optic, see what we get. These are all hobby packs. There are 4 cards per pack. We have 8 packs here. I went to my local hobby shop, and I was 17 playing in two. No, I was not 17. I was 12. I was 12 playing in a 12-year-old, 11 to 12-year-old boys. So I went to my local hobby shop. He didn't have any boxes of optic left, so I just bought all the packs he had left. Got Sandy Alcantara, Matt Chapman on the Prism one of it. It's a nice looking card. Oh, we got Jordan on a black. Is that supposed to be like special? It is numbered to 149 on the back. Jordan Alvarez. We just talked about Jordan. Let me get some sleeves out here. Just talked about Jordan Alvarez. I think he's going to have a big World Series. And look at there. There's a black, like sparkle, it looks like, of Jordan Alvarez. You think this is a hot box? That's another thing I was going to bring up, Rob. I'm tired of all these people opening a hot optic and saying hot box. I think I'm going to have to start copyrighting and suing people. You calling stuff hot boxes when there's only one hot box cards. All right. And our other card is Frank Thomas. So, and Rob says it's possible hot box. But I don't know. I think we should call it something else. But we'll see what's in here. There's only one hot box. I saw a guy at the Chantilly, Virginia show. He was selling like grab boxes, and they were called hot boxes. And I was about ready to go up to him and say, hey, buddy, there's going to be some copyright infringement going on. Crazy. All right, pack number 2. We got a Kevin Gossman. Possible lukewarm box. I like that. Lukewarm box. Oh, that's good, Rob. I like that one, man. Oh, we got a red in here. We got a red. This might be Nate Pearson rated rookie. That's not bad. Let's go from the back. And we got a Javier Baez mythical card. And our red, we're upside down. Our red is Rio of the Toronto, and that is numbered to 60. That is numbered to 60. This might be a lukewarm box. This might be a lukewarm box. I bought every pack they had out of the box. They only had 8 packs left. So we got Mr. Rua for Toronto. Red up there, numbered to 49, I think, or 50. That was pack number 2. Going to pack number 3. You know, I one time opened up, when I had my store back in the day, I opened up a box and I forget what products it was, but they had hot boxes back then, and every pack had an autograph or a jersey card in it. Now that's a real hot box. All right. So Rob thinks I'm going to have a serial numbered card in every pack. We will find out, folks. All right, we got Zach McKistry of for LA, rated rookie. Ooh, we got something else in here too. Oh, did we get a Jake Cronworth autograph? Holy, look at this, folks. Jake Cronworth, rated rookie auto. We are on fire tonight. Firestorm is doing it up, and that is 50 of 50. Jake Cronworth. Oh, he's on my fantasy baseball team, helping me win a championship. Beautiful looking card there. 50 of 50. And then our next card is Pavin Smith. Look at that thing. Look at that. Lasers all over the place. That's number to 249. We are on fire, folks. I think this might be a lukewarm box. Lukewarm box here, folks. We'll put Mr. Rua down and put Pavin Smith up. But that Jake Cronworth. Love that, me. I love Jake Cronworth. I think he is going to be really good. You missed the whole show, Mike. Oh, geez. Now I got to redo the whole show, man. I got to redo the whole show. Well, you can watch the replay, Mike. Had a great talk with John Newman from Sports Card Nation podcast. You can do two things at once, Mike. You can watch the Seahawks and watch the show. Okay. We had a great show tonight. So go back and watch the replay when we're done. We're opening up 2021 Optic Hobby Packs, and it looks like we got all the packs from a a hot box or a lukewarm box, we're calling it, because we don't want to do copyright infringement. So far, this is what we pulled. We pulled the Jordan, numbered Pavin Smith, and Jake Cronworth auto, numbered 50 of 50. Yeah, these were all the packs he had left, and I bought every one of them. Glad I did now. All right, next pack up here, we got a Shane McMillan. We got a whole bunch of stuff in this one. We got a Aria, Texas. I don't know who he is. That's a prism, though. Look at that thing shine. Let's go from the back. We got Max Scherzer, lights out. Well, he was lights out against my Giants, but not anymore. And then we got a blue. It's upside down. We got a teal blue here of Roman Lariano, and that is numbered to 50. Roman Lariano. Every pack has had a numbered card. One pack's had two numbered cards. So we are doing pretty well, folks. Oh, we're buffering. I hope we don't buffer too long. Sometimes my internet connection is not the best down here, but all right. So hopefully you guys can see. Yeah, I love lukewarm boxes. I like lukewarm boxes, man. All right, here. Starting off with Ketel Marte. Those are nice looking cards, man. Trevor Bauer. Guy got in a lot of trouble. Let's go back from the back. We got Kirsten Robinson from Arizona, rated rookie. And then we got, upside down here. Upside down. Oh, this is a rated rookie, and this is Blue Laser of Ian Anderson of Atlanta. I've heard of him. I think he's pretty good. And that is numbered to 99, Ian Anderson for the Atlanta Braves. And the World Series getting ready to start tomorrow night. I'm predicting the Astros in 6. 20 number card. It looks like this is a number 1 also. But Mike, it's not a hot box. Okay. Only I do hot boxes. It's a lukewarm box. You got a lukewarm box. That's what we're calling them. I like lukewarm boxes. All right, let's take the Pavin Smith down and let's put up Mr. Ian Anderson. Atlanta. Mike Vance says Braves in 7. I don't know if Braves in 7. I don't know. I think they're going to be a warm optic box. There we go. All right, we got 3 packs left. Again, these are all this. Man, I bought every pack they had left, so I wish I was there when they opened the box first. Next pack up here. We got Joey Votto. And we got a Tucker Davidson from Atlanta, picking up a lot of Atlanta rookies tonight. We got a green laser or something. Let's go back from the back. We got Koei Arar. I don't know how you say his name. That guy. And then, upside. All right, we got another Raider rookie. This is a green laser. I think it's green. It's kind of green, greenish teal. We got the same guy again. Aurora. I don't know how you say his name. But that is number 35 for Texas. Texas, Japanese pitcher, it looks like. All right, we got 2 packs left. Did pull an autograph so far. Jake Cronworth, and that's a really good one. You might see some of these cards in your upcoming hot boxes, so be on the lookout for those. We should do our preview video by the end of the week. So be on the lookout for our preview video. But Mike Vance, you just joined us. I did show everybody. What did I do? Baseball subscribers this month. This is going to be the top hit. The Ernie Banks jersey card, number 68 for baseball subscribers this month. And if you're a football subscriber, our top hit is going to be this 2020 Dan Marino jersey card, number 199. So those are going to be our top hits for November. For Hall of Fame November, we'll be doing a preview video coming up. Did show you what the football subscribers are going to get free every box, and we'll be showing you baseball pretty soon. Yeah, that Banks is really cool. I picked that up at the National for a pretty good price, 2006 actually. All right, next pack up here, we got a Jordan, or we got a Jacob deGrom. I don't know why I said Jordan. We got Luis Garcia. I think I've heard of him. Then we go back from the back. We got a mythical Christian Yelich. And why are those always upside down? This is a purple laser, or pink laser, I guess you'd call it. A pink laser. Oh, that's Mr. Kershaw. Yeah, it is. Look at that, Clayton Kershaw. Look at that thing. Just, oh my goodness. I feel like it's going to take my eyes out. It's so lasery. And that is number 249 on the Clayton Kershaw. Beautiful laser card. Well, I'm glad you like that, Mike. Mike Vance says his favorite part of a hot box is getting cards from over there at the conventions. You're right. I was just at the where was I at? Oh, the Chantilly, Virginia card show. They had a huge lineup of stars. They had Ric Flair was there, a whole bunch of Steelers. Austin Hayes. They had a great lineup of people there. I didn't pay for any of those autographs. I just went to buy cards. But, yep, I was down there on Saturday. So we should be starting to ship. Beginning of next week, we'll start shipping our November box. This is our last pack. Firestorm. He did a good job tonight. Got all these numbered cards. And a Jake Cronworth. Let's get one more autograph, though. Let's get one more autograph. That would be awesome if we pulled both autographs out of the box and everybody else did not get the autographs. All right, let's see what we get here. We got Keston Hiura. We're not going to get the autograph. Garrett Cole. Go from the back. Mackenzie Gore of San Diego, rated rookie. And we have a black. Anybody know? Oh, we had that. That was upside down. That was weird. Oh, it's a rated rookie. And it's Lynch. Daniel Lynch on a black sparkle. And that is number 149 on Daniel Lynch. All right, we got a lot of stuff to go over here. So let's show you everything we pulled out of these 8 packs. So we had 8 packs. We have Ian Anderson, and that is numbered to 99. Koa Arara, something like that, numbered to 35. Pavin Smith, rated rookie for Arizona. That's numbered to 249. Daniel Lynch on a black, I think it's black, like sparkle. That's numbered to 149. Roman Lariano on a teal, it looks like, or a blue. That's numbered to 50. And Hyunjin Ryu, I can never say his name. The Toronto pitcher, numbered to 60. Yordan Alvarez on the black sparkle. That was our first one I think we pulled. Number 149, Clayton Kershaw on a pink laser. 249. You're right, Mike. I like those. Those are really cool. And then this beautiful Jake Cronworth black, it looks like, or whatever you call that. I don't know. But that is numbered 50 of 50. That might be staying in my collection until sometimes some of the top rookies, if I pull an autograph out, I might hang on to it. I should probably sleeve that up. Let me find myself a top loader here, folks. So I got some great cards, though. You will see some of these cards probably in the upcoming hot boxes, maybe in or red hot envelopes or anything. Best card tonight, definitely the Jake Cronworth was the best card, but really, you missed it, Mike. But I wanted to show you, this is the best card tonight. Look at this, a Matt Brown rookie card from 1989. There I am, sir. That was the best card tonight. The Matt Brown rookie card back there, folks. All right, guys, we ran a little long tonight, but I really wanted to talk to John Newman at Sports Card Nation podcast because I knew we wanted to ask him some questions about the Fanatics. And this is the guy, he interviews all the top. I mean, he's interviewed the head of Upper Deck and the head of Panini and all the major grading companies. And he's interviewed Dr. James Beckett. So this guy is up on the business. He's up on everything. We've subscribed. We have sponsored his podcast there for a while. Probably doing that again because he's a great individual and knows everything there is. Doesn't know everything about cards, but he knows what's going on. And it was good to have him on and talk to him tonight and played our Audible game. That's all I got for tonight, guys. I'm getting tired. I got to go to bed. Mike Vance has got to rewatch this whole show, so that's going to be like an hour out of his time tonight. But he's on the West Coast, so he's got time to do that. So, but I am going to get ready for bed, folks. Again, every Monday night, 9 o'clock, guys. 9 o'clock Eastern, and we're almost up to 200 subscribers. We're up to 182. We got to get to 200, and then we're going to do a big giveaway once we hit 200 subscribers on YouTube. So make sure you hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber on YouTube, hit subscribe. If you're on Facebook Live, hit the like button or the thumbs up or whatever you got going on. But make sure you do that, guys, and I really appreciate it. Next Monday, I don't know what we got going on for next Monday, but it'll be something great. But I want to thank my guest, John Newman, for being our guest tonight from Sports Card Nation Podcast. Listen to his podcast every Friday comes out, and it's only like an hour-long podcast, so it's not too long. But he goes over news and does some great interviews, does an awesome job on his podcast, and you will definitely enjoy that. That is all I got for tonight, guys. I got to get to bed. I'm tired. Past my bedtime. Have a good night, folks.